Hi, Rajiv. Welcome to this session of Marketing Jedis. It's so nice to be here with you, and I really look forward to our conversation today. To begin with, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about your journey, your vast experience in the FMCG industry.
Hi, my name is Rajiv Dubey. I head media for FMCG Dabur India Limited. And talking about my journey has been a pretty long journey, starting with very analog world to a semi-digital to a digital world. So when I started working in the 90s, that time the media planning and most of the exercise in marketing was on manual. Like, for example, there was one channel called Doordarshan, and then, the new channels were coming in at that point of time. New TV channels like the Star Plus, which used to be in English, and then there was a news channel, BBC, and there were just sports channels, etc. From there, we've seen a proliferation of television in the country. We have seen a dot-com era, so to say, which was in late 1990s, and thereafter, from there to Web 2.0, the Facebook era, and thereafter the YouTube era, and now to this new era, which is Web 3.0, and going into the future of AI and ML, and
ChatGPT.
It's basically ChatGPT. Imagine just months back when I didn't know about ChatGPT. Now, I myself use it a lot now, just to get small little answers. Although it's not very comprehensive, but, it gives you a different perspective on things. And so one has seen all, and, imagine the traditional companies like Dabur, which has been essentially general trade driven. We are distributed through a massive number of outlets in the country, almost 78 lakh outlets in the country. Our contribution of a digital business, which is e-commerce business and B2C business put together, is roughly about 9% of our total business now, So, which was not even 1% just about 3 years back, So, when I've seen this journey from a totally analog world to a semi-digital to a digital world, and future is looking as usual bright, Nobody says that in business future is bleak. Future is always bright. So that's about my journey.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I mean, I personally identify a lot with some of what you said in terms of what media was like in the 1990s, and in a span of 3 decades, the world is a completely different place. So it's really interesting. But what you shared of the transformation of media from analog to even different variations of what the digital world looks like actually leads me to my next question, which is still a hot favorite for a lot of people who listen to these conversations. With the pandemic, the digital world changed even more because user behavior changed in a very significant way. And, that led to brands adopting different digital marketing strategies and a new approach to, drive consumer engagement. But that also presented a lot of challenges, right? Like you said, for instance, that an organization like Dabur is GT driven, and you work at tremendous scale in GT outlets. So what was the approach Dabur took to sort of, meet the evolving consumer needs brought about by the pandemic?
So the first thing which was done by the company was to have our own setup, our own system of dealing with this challenge, So we built our own team, which is a very strong team, which is led by Samarth Khanna, who's our e-commerce and modern trade head for sales. And he basically built the whole system, sitting in this company. He hired people, built his own chain of distribution and fulfillment, etc. And, it is a lot of hard work, a lot of understanding of the market, a lot of understanding of what things are going on at that point of time. And it was very quickly built, and it was scaled up. Imagine, any other FMCG company which is in a similar league as Dabur is not there yet, where we are right now. Like, for example, the contribution of, like I said, our e-commerce business is about 9% of total business, right? Which is very significant at the size and scale we operate in. That's been possible because of quick learning, and we scaled up operations very quickly in this field.
Got it. So while we are, you're talking about how you evolved from a supply and distribution lens from a consumer need, India has also evolved into into a digital first economy, which is led by mobile phones. So in terms of marketing, how are you looking at creating a relationship with your audiences, whether it's in terms of, driving awareness or engagement, or even looking at acquisition? How is Dabur, looking at the mobile first phenomena, and how does that sort of dial back into your marketing goals?
So there are various layers to it, right? It's not only so one layer, like we talked about e-commerce, which is like the really bottom of the funnel, but at top of the funnel, advertising through video, then getting host of influencers who work along with us. Between last year and this year, we have used over 6,000 influencers who work in different geographies, big influencers like, like TV actors to micro and a nano level influencers. So that is influencer led. And then, we have created, like every brand, we have a huge repository of different creatives which we make for digital, which are digital first creatives. And all this leads into basically, to e-commerce and into the sales ultimately. So there are different layers which one uses, for attracting digital first consumers. And so like right now, influencers, social influencers to say creating content for people, specific content, doing moment led marketing, then reaching out to people through bottom of the funnel advertising on various e-commerce platforms. All this put together gives you a complete 360-degree on mobile first consumers. And people, the kind of results we got through this phenomena has been like really unprecedented. It was people like really have huge trust on Dabur, and which is what been shown in the business we are driving through this.
So basically a mix of media and content, leveraging moments in the mix.
Yeah, media, content, influencers, and DSP advertising, and being present, and the most important thing is fulfillment. Being able to fulfill it.
Of course. Which I'm assuming the e-com leg takes care of.
It was a very big challenge a few years back. Now all these things are sorted out. And one more thing which one forgets is the phenomenon of UPI. The UPI has been so seamless in this country, and adoption of payments, digital payments have really helped in growing this business, not only for us and for everybody.
Sure. That's absolutely true, because that supports the fulfillment.
Yeah.
So in this journey, you spoke about video, you spoke about content, right? Which basically aims at, you spoke about influencers. I'm sort of clubbing influencers and content together. And this, I presume, would focus on driving top funnel efforts, right? So both of these would drive the needle in terms of building awareness, in terms of driving consideration and engagement for users. But when you are, creating this content, video is pretty straightforward, but you are, creating this content, do you sort of face challenges with respect to discovery? What I'm getting at is, at InMobi, we focus on helping brands solve for creating real connections, right? Which is what content aims to do. And this we're able to accomplish through lock screen marketing, because that sort of enables seamless content discovery for our brands and our clients. So I wanted to get a sense from you in terms of how you're looking at lock screen marketing to sort of fit into this journey that you created for users that starts with, video and content, and how does this fit into your marketing mix?
Yeah, so basically this is another aid into this whole thing. So it's, I mean, anything which is which adds to our business is always welcome. Yeah. So the lock screen marketing is again, something which is going to aid in our business. So anything which is going to help us in doing our business is welcome. Is more than welcome.
I think there's a lot we can do in terms of experiments, especially in the content piece, because the lock screen is a platform that aids seamless content discovery. So I think maybe we can pick that up offline.
Yeah.
It's really intriguing how you've created a very clear funnel for yourself, because like you said, there's video and there's content, and, looking at influencers from mini celebrities to, going down to macro and nano influencers as well. And that is supported with this entire infrastructure you've put up with e-com driven and aided by UPI payments and so on and so forth. So in this entire journey, how are you looking at, data and insights and analytics, and how does sort of that help fine tune this entire funnel and journey for you, and, helps you sort of sharp tune the engagement that you're able to drive with consumers?
So our own D2C platform, along with whatever data we collect from different touch points, in modern trade and through various other means, through say by consumer contact, etc. That gives us a lot of insight, and that's basically that database is building over the period of time, and that ultimately is going to help us in understanding consumers better. Apart from that, these couple of ideas, we have a live command center which we have set up in our company. So what this live command center does is that it gives you a lot of insight. A lot of consumer engagement happens through the command center, and we get a lot of insights from command center. We convert those insights into content, and we use it on consumers. So there's been another level of feedback which we get, feedback mechanism which happens through various social platforms, and people nowadays don't hesitate to give any kind of feedback, So that's been a huge learning for companies like us, Like for example, for brand Honey, we realized a couple of years back that people were asking us about how do we source honey, for example, right? So we did a series of videos on sourcing of honey. We created one campaign in which we showed how we source honey from Sundarbans. We created videos which basically showed us how we source honey from, say, places like Aravalli Hills, and in MP. Then thereafter, we received a tweet from a celebrity who talked to us about, if we can show him around, Sonu Sood basically reached us out, and
that's lovely.
We took him and we onboarded him thereafter. We requested him if we could come along and we can take him through the journey of how honey source and how it is packaged and how it reaches to people, So, people think that we make honey, but we don't make honey, that, right? Honey is made by honeybees. So from honeybees till bottle, that journey, was very well captured. And all this came through the insight we got from our command center and the feedback system. So we are very agile in this. We are mindful of what's happening around the world, and so we use that insight and create content around. So not only this brand, it's several other brands. There are lots of stories,
of course,
but like hundreds of brands, and every brand has a story. And we have been mandated that for every brand, we should engage with the local celebrities, local influencers. And so that's how, our numbers in influencers have been growing. We try to use influencers in, say, regional markets, local markets, wherever, you can get a leverage of somebody who has a great followership, try to use that followership and use it for a brand.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. And it just goes to show the power, that a brand can create by listening to their consumers and creating a conversation with them. But so if you can talk about this a little bit more, in your command center, are you looking purely at feedback, or are you also trying to sort of collate that with consumer data from an online and an offline world? How are you, sort of trying to look at data beyond insights and leverage that to, again, customize what Dabur as an organization can offer to the needs of a particular user?
So, so it really helps in customization. Like, for example, I will give you an example of, say, a brand like, say, Red Toothpaste. Right? Red Toothpaste is a brand which sells pan-India, and it has gradually become number one toothpaste in a lot of geographies. Like, for example, if you look at the eastern coast of India, right from Orissa to Andhra Pradesh to Tamil Nadu, we are number one toothpaste, right? We learned from our regional markets and the local markets, and we targeted our advertising, and we targeted our marketing efforts towards that, which was not possible earlier. Earlier what used to happen is we used to make one ad and we used to dub that ad in different languages and used to present it to the entire country, right? So all that has changed now. So every region has a different celebrity, has a different influencer. Like for Chyawanprash, you would see that in North India, you would find Akshay Kumar is the protagonist for Chyawanprash, is the ambassador for Chyawanprash. You go to South, you'll find that Nagarjuna is, doing the same job what Akshay Kumar is doing here. So similarly, in Red Toothpaste, we have different celebrities for different markets. North India, you'll find Amitabh Bachchan up endorsing the brand, and South, you'll find other local heroes and people who have huge following. Those celebrities are basically working for the brand. So all this has been possible through through social listening and understanding the consumers better, which is what every business is all about. Ultimately, you will do a better business if you can talk to the consumer in their own languages, right? If you talk to them in their own language, in their dialect, and at the place they are there, right? So it really has a huge impact, which is what we've done for, like, I give example of Red Toothpaste, for Dabur Honey, for Chyawanprash, for Amla Hair Oil, they're like hundreds of brands in this country. Every brand has a different story to sell in a different market. Every market is different for every brand. So that level of customization, that level of customization on packaging, in communication, in media. So that's been possible only through very keen listening to the consumers.
So data is basically leading to personalization, brand by brand, in terms of communication and even market.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the hyper-personalization, I would say, that, so that really works. People, like, for example, I was in Chennai market a couple of months back, and I was going through different outlets, different kinds of outlets, and that's one market which caters to all kinds of people. So what they say is, like, in Chennai, that when you go to a retail store, all the airspace, which is like you see the shelves in the shops, but there all the airspace is also taken. And what they do is that they sell products in small sizes. Like, if you want to buy, say, cardamom, or if you want to buy any masala, for example, you will find everything. For everything, there is a sachet. It's a huge sachet market.
Yeah.
And so one has used that opportunity to target that market through LUPs, small packs like for 10 rupee pack or 20 rupee pack for hair oils, toothpaste, and other brands also. And when I use that, in a big way in that market. Every market has a different understanding and different
Absolutely.
construct there. So those insights, those insights are one can do if you listen to the consumers in a very careful way.
So the personalization is happening for you not just from marketing communication mix, but it's also influencing supply and distribution and
Absolutely.
Product strategies for you. Very interesting. It's actually a very inspiring story to see how data and data-driven marketing supported by content is actually contributing to that. So thank you, Rajiv, so much for giving us your time. It was such a wonderful pleasure to talk to you. And, I hope we can connect offline sometime and pick this conversation up again.
Sure, Devika. Thank you.